Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video I'm going to show you how you can make this fitness gym website using Wix. It'll have a beautiful image at the top, and then if you scroll down below that it'll have the facility section where you can market all the features of your facility. Then below that it'll have a classes section where you can showcase some of your courses with the times for each one. Below that, you can have a schedule section. To add a calendar like this requires switching to a different editor, which I'll show you how to do that. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the ADI editor, which I recommend because it's really easy to use. But to add a calendar like this, you need to switch to the Wix editor, which I'll show you how to do that. That's an optional step. If you don't want to do that, you can just include your class times up here with your class information. Below the schedule section will be a trainer section where you can showcase your trainers. And then there'll be this book a trainer button where they can actually go and book a trainer online. Below that will be a membership options section. So I'm going to show you how you can add a paid plans app, which is a feature of Wix, which allows you to take online payments. That has an added cost to it, so you can use this option where it just presents the cost for each membership, and this is the free option. But if you want to use the paid plans app, that would require upgrading to a business plan, and I'll show you how to do each of those. Below that, you'll have the Get in Touch section where your users can send you a message, and then there'll be a map for where you're located. Also, I'm going to turn on the Chrome emulator and inspect, show you as an iPhone. It also looks great on a mobile phone. It's really important these days to have a website that's fully functional on a mobile phone, since most people browse on their phone nowadays, not on a computer. So as you can see, everything is optimized and responded to the smaller screen, and it looks great. So you might be wondering why I'm going to show you how to make this website in Wix, why not in WordPress? Because people talk a lot about WordPress and how great it is. WordPress is really awesome. It's very powerful. You can pretty much make any website. But with that power, it makes it also more complicated. With Wix, if you have the content and images already prepared, you can have the website up in a few hours, maybe an hour, if you're quick. Whereas with WordPress, that's going to take you a few days, maybe a few weeks to figure out, because there's a lot to WordPress. It can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of different options, plugins, themes, all kinds of stuff that can get in the way and make things very overwhelming. One of the biggest downsides of WordPress is you have to keep the software constantly up to date. There's WordPress itself, there's the theme, and then there's the plugin. You have to keep all three of those up to date. If you do not keep those up to date, your site can be susceptible to hackers. With Wix, they keep the software up to date for you, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can just focus on making your website, and then you can forget about it. But with WordPress, once you make the website, you can't just forget about it. You have to constantly log into your WordPress dashboard and keep everything up to date. Also, sometimes when you update everything, sometimes those three parts, they don't get along, and your site will look bad or it just won't load. And it's not fun trying to figure out what the problem is and trying to fix it. And I've done that a few times myself. So the only time I would really recommend WordPress is if you want to do something very highly customizable, something you can't make with Wix or another website builder. But Wix, for a business website, it's going to have probably 99% of all the features you're going to need. So very likely you're not going to need the power of WordPress. The first thing we're going to do to start creating the website is go to joespages.com/Wix4. The first thing I want to do is I want to go over the go over the premium plans. So with Wix, you can run your website for free, but there's a couple of downsides. So if I go back to the demo site, you'll notice at the top there's this Wix advertising banner. So that's one downside. The other downside is the domain. You'll notice it has wixsite.com. This is Wix's domain. If you want to have your own custom domain like mysite.com or whatever your domain is, if you want to use that with your site, you have to upgrade to a premium plan. So these are the premium plans. The cheapest premium plan is $13 a month, and that will allow you to connect your domain and remove the Wix ads. Also, you get a free domain for 1 year. So for most people, the $13 a month plan will be fine. Will serve your needs. But if you want to do some of the advanced features like paid plans where you can take online payments for membership dues, or you want to allow your customers to book online and accept payments, you have to get a business plan. So you'll see the cheapest business plan is $23 a month, and that'll allow you to accept online payments. So you can do the paid plans or bookings. So what I recommend though is just sign up for Wix, make your website, see if you like it. If you like it, then at that point you can decide if you want to upgrade to a premium plan. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do is click this Get Started. And then I'm assuming you don't have an account, so enter your email and enter a password to create an account. Then click Sign Up. Then it's going to take you through a little wizard and ask you some questions. So just click Let's Do It. The first question it's going to ask you is, who do you want to create a website for? Just select myself. Next, it's going to ask you, have you created a website before? I'll just select this is my first time. Next, it's going to ask you, what kind of website do you need? I would select business. Next, it's going to ask you, do you want to hire a Wix partner to create your site? You can select a Wix partner, but that's going to cost money, and you can just create it yourself for free. So just select I'll create it myself. Next, it's going to ask you if you want to use the Wix Adi Editor or use the Wix Editor where you choose a template. I highly recommend the Adi Editor. It's just really easy to use. You can, like I said before, you can have a website up in a few hours. With the Wix Editor, you could also have a site up pretty quickly, but it's very powerful. So because it's so powerful and you can do anything, it's more complex. So it's going to take longer to create a website. You can create a really beautiful, and you can create whatever you want with the Wix Editor, but it's just going to take longer. And I think with the ADI Editor, that's going to serve most business owners. You can create a really professional site, and it's really easy, and you can do it quickly. So if you want the version that's easy and you can create it quickly so you can get back to your work on your business, I highly recommend the ADI Editor. So just select Start Now. So now it's going to take you through another little wizard and ask you a few more questions. So what type of site do you want to create? So here you can just enter gym. Then on the next one, it's going to ask you, what do you need on your new website? So I'm going to select bookings and paid plans and show you how those work. I'm going to check chat, but you can also, if you want, you can add chat, and you can chat with users on your website. Then I'm going to click Next. Next, it's going to ask you, what is the name of your business? For my example, I just call it Fun Fitness. And then click Next. Next, it's going to ask you, do you want to import your images and text? Here you would enter, if you have an existing website, you would enter that in, and if you have Google Places, you would enter that in, and then it'll pull any text or images off your website for you and add it to the site we're about to create with Wix. So I don't have one, so I'm going to click Next. Here you can enter your address, so I'll just enter in my fake address for this example. Enter in your address and then enter in your phone number. And then if you have fax, you enter that in. And then if you have social links like Facebook or Instagram, you can put those in there. I don't have any, so I'll just click next. Next, it's going to ask you to pick a theme. So on this step, it's kind of, you can't really see what your theme's going to look like. So later on, I can show you how each theme will look like with your site. So I'm gonna select this Spark, and so you can select whatever and then click continue. Next, it's gonna ask you to pick a homepage design. So you can kind of just look through these and pick one you like. And it doesn't matter too much because later on I'm gonna show you how you can change your site. So I'll just go with this first one. Okay, so after it loads, creating your site, you'll see this is the ADI editor. You can click on any of the sections. There's either edit or there's design. So if you click edit, it's more for the text and images. And then if you click design, it'll show you some different layouts and designs that you can choose, that you can change. Personally, I think the full width image looks really professional, so I highly recommend just keeping the full width image at the top. But you can change, like this has right now the text is below, but you could change it to this one where the text would be to the right if you wanted. Or you could select this one. So I recommend keeping the full width image. So if you want to change the text, you just hover over the text, click it, and then you can edit text here. Also, if you want, you can, for example, you want to hide this, click this check mark here, and that'll hide it. Or if you want to add a description, click that, and then you can edit the text here. If you want to change the image, you click here, edit replace, and then click replace. And then it'll give you some recommended images, or there's media from Wix, which are free, and there's Shutterstock, which are premium images, and there's Unsplash, which is a really great free source. So I'm just going to go with the recommended and select the one I did in the demo. Oh, this lady who seems really happy working out. Okay, so now we've updated the image. Next, I'm going to show you how you can change the theme. So if you go to design and then themes, here you can just click on each of these themes and it'll update, and you can get an idea of how your site would look. So I recommend just clicking through all of them and see which one you like the best. I personally like the Spark, so I'm just going to go Spark. That's what I use in the demo. So another thing you can do is if you don't like the colors, you can go up here to design and go to colors. And it'll give you these recommended palettes. So you can just click on them and then see how it likes and see if you like it. I think a lot of using the editor and creating a website is just trial and error and see what works best together. So I'm just going to go with the top one. And then if you don't like the recommended palettes, you don't like the color, so what you do is you change this main color. And you can select a different color, and then it'll adjust and give you new palettes to go with that. So I'm just going to switch it back. Then next I'll show you how to change the font. So if you go to design and then fonts, this will give you different fonts. So just like the themes, I would just go through and click through these and see how it looks with the different fonts. I'm just going to go with Spark. And then another thing I'm going to show you is how to change the animation. You can add some really cool effects. So if you hover over these, you can see what the effect is. Well, that's kind of cool. Try that one. And then to preview it, in the upper right, if you go to preview, and then you scroll, you can see the effect. Makes it look really professional. So another thing I want to show you is you go to design and then page designs. It'll give you some optimized page designs based on how your site is. So one thing to keep in mind though is sometimes it'll change the images you've used, and it can remove some of your work. So I'm just going to keep what I have right now for now, but if you keep coming back, it'll keep giving you new optimized designs based on how your site currently is. So next, I want to show you how to, so if you go to each one of these is a section, if you click on it and go to design, it'll give you different different layouts you can use. So it has all these different layouts, and I would just go through and find one that you like. So if I go to the class section, just scroll through and find one you like. So I can try this one. And then for this section, it has these list items. So you click on any of these items, then you can update the text right here, but you can click on it, and then you can update the text or add a subtitle, or you want to add a description. Click on any of those, or you can change the image here. Also, if you hover over any of the text, you'll see this thing pops up. You can change the color, so maybe you want to change it to a different color, you want to change it to red, or you can hide it, same as hiding over here. So you have to click on the next section. So I recommend going through each section, going to design, and then scrolling through until you find one you like. Or you can just keep the one, if you like the current one, you can just keep the one you currently have. So next I want to show you how to change the header, because the header is pretty important. That's the first part of the site your user is going to see. So just click on the header, and then go to section design, or you can also just go click on the header and close this. You hover over the header and click design. That also goes to the section design. And then here you'll see there's different examples of different layouts you can select for your header. I personally like where the business name is on the left and the menu is on the right. I think that it's a pretty standard way to create a website. A lot of professional websites use that, so I think it looks really professional. So just scroll through here. You can see how there's different layouts. Some are, for example, this one has centered business name and centered menu, which looks nice. But I like the left side. This one's also left, but the menu's on the left side as well. So I'm just going to scroll until I find it. So this is the one I like. I like it as the business name on the left and the menu on the right. And then once you select a theme, below it you'll see this customized section design. Here you can change the header type to regular, transparent, or fixed. So in the demo I used a transparent header. As you can see, it's transparent. But with this one, transparent is disabled. So depending on the image you select here, sometimes Wix won't let you use a transparent. I think because the image is not very tall. So you need to select a different one. So try this one. It's probably too short too. So let's go to design and then customize section design and see it's still disabled. So click here again, and we need to find a taller image. So try this one. and then go up here and design. Okay, now transparent is enabled, so click on transparent, and now we get our transparent header. So next I'm going to show you how you can add a logo. So if you click here, open the header, and go to logo here on the left, click the check, and then select edit and replace. So if you have your own logo, you would select image and then click replace, and then go to save files, and then upload media, and then here you could either upload from your computer, or you can upload from Google Drive or Facebook or any of those locations. I don't have an image, so I'm just going to use a shape. You can also, if you don't have a logo, you can also use a shape. So just click shape and then replace. And then here you can search for, I think I use the kettlebell, and then select that, or you could search for something else, like exercise. So you could, if it's a yoga gym, you could put in yoga or fitness, anything that might bring up something related to your gym. So I'm just gonna do the kettlebell, and then apply, and then I'm gonna make it a little smaller to match the size of the font of this business, of my business name. Okay, so next I'm going to get into adding some of the sections I have in the demo. So if I go to the demo site, you'll see this first section I have is the facilities section. So if I'm going to go back to the editor, and then I want to put it right here, so I'm just going to click this plus here, and that'll allow us to add a section. So on the left side, you'll see there's all these different sections you can add. You can add a rate section, subscribe, got a shop, events. But for this, we're going to have the facilities. So just click on this facilities, and then they have all these different designs and layouts you can choose. In the demo, I think I used this one, so I'm just going to click that, and then that will add it into the page. So then you can click on this text. If you want to edit it, you click on the image, and then click edit and replace to change the image, or you can change the text to match the facility of your gym. So that's how you add a facility section. So let me go back to the demo. So I have this facility section, and below that we have classes. So here we already have, a class section. So we don't need this about the gym section anymore. So I'm just going to click, hover over the three dots, and then click delete to delete that section. And then below that, you have this hours. I don't need that because I'm going to have a schedule section. So I'm just going to hover over three dots, click delete. And this is our class section. So if you want to edit, just like any other section, you can click on the image. If you want to change this image, you can edit and replace, or if you want to change the text, or you don't want to have this link, and uncheck that. So let me look at the demo site. So then we have the classes section, and then below that we have schedule section. I'm going to show you the schedule section last, because to do that you have to use the Wix Editor. So I will show you that last, because once you use the Wix Editor, if you want to go back to the ADI editor, you're going to lose all your changes from the Wix Editor. So I recommend adding that schedule section last. So there's a schedule section, and then below that is the trainers section. So I'm going to go back to the editor and click on this. This is the trainer section, or actually click on this design, and then we can change the section to whatever we like. I had one that had an image at the top. It looked pretty nice. Let me go back and see which one I had. Okay, I had the... So actually I think for that one what I did was I added I added a team section. So I'm just going to click this plus to add a section, and then on the left side I'm going to look for, I think it was called a team. I might have passed it. Where is it? Team members. So click on team members, and then here, probably just go with this first one. And then just like any section, you click on the image if you want to edit, replace, if you want to change the image. You can add a description about the person. You put their title in here. And then the demo, I had an image above this, so I'm going to click this plus, and then over here on the left, go to image. And then let me go back, see how I had it. Oh, I had trainers. Okay, so I had one of the images had like text over it. So I think it was this one. So click on that one. And then click on the text, and then I'm going to change trainers. And then it had a subtitle. What did I have? Get to know us. So I put get to know us. And then I'm going to change the image, so edit, replace, and click replace. And then I use this image. And then there, so we got the image in. And then, so we don't need this section anymore, so since we added the previous trainer section, I'm just going to hover over the 3 dots and click delete. So next, below the trainers section, we have the membership options section. So with Wix, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use paid plans, which I will show you. But paid plans, that requires a business plan. So if you don't want to pay extra, I can show you how to add a rates section. So let me just show you how to add a rates section. So I'm just going to click this plus, and then on the left side, you select rates, and then you can choose the different styles that you like. So I'm just going to go with the first one. And then that will add the rates, and you can provide the cost for each of your memberships. So you can click on each of these sections, change the price, the name of the plan, the description. So in the demo, I had a little image above that too. So if I go back, I'm just gonna click this plus, and then I'm gonna select image, and then add another image, the title. Excuse me, I think this one didn't have, that one didn't have a title, so it's okay though. I can just click here and uncheck it if I have no title. So I'm going to change this and replace, and then I'm going to select this one I had, and then apply, and that'll update it. So now we have our membership section. So this is the free way to do it, or I should say the cheaper way to do it. So if you want to add paid plans, which requires a business plan. So in the wizard, when we set the site up, if you remember, we added paid plans. So on the upper left, if you click pages, and then click this plans and pricing, this will just show you some examples of what the plans and pricings could look like. But so you need to edit and add your own plans. So click on this gear, and then go to manage plans pricing. Here you can add a plan, so click create plan, and then you give it a name like 1-year membership, and then you can list the benefits, You can select if it's a recurring payment or a one-time payment. I'll select recurring payment, yearly. Actually, I'll make this monthly, 400. The length is for 12 months. And then here you can connect to different services. So if you want to add, you have a trainer, 1 hour a week of trainers included in the membership. You can add that stuff here. So then you click save, and then you have your plan. So up here it's saying you need to add a payment for that to work. So you also want to add a payment method. So I'm going to create another one, month to month. This is also recurring payment, monthly. I'll make this one 125. Length plan until canceled. And then I'm going to save it. So now if I close this, it'll refresh with your plans. So this is the more expensive option because you need a business plan, but you can, with this option, you can take membership dues through Wix. So now I'm going to go back to the home page. So click up here and go home. So the next thing I want to show you is bookings. So on the left side here, you can click this book online. This will go to the bookings page and it'll have some dummy data. So same as the plans, click on this gear, go to manage bookings. In here you can add a booking. So I'm going to click this add new class. And then I'm going to just add a one-on-one like training. So click this one-on-one. And then I'll put personal training session. And then you can add some tags, or add a tagline, add a description. And then there's advanced settings. This if you want to accept online bookings. And then here you enter your pricing information, so $100 per session, the duration of the session, and then here you could add a staff member, I could say like Joe, and then it'll add staff member Joe, and then you just click Save Service. So now it's going to tell you, yes, you need a business premium plan to use bookings. So now it's got my personal training. So I'm going to delete these. So I'm going to close this. And then now you'll see it has services. So you can also change the design on this page. So if you click design, you can choose the layout. I like this layout, so I'm going to go with that. So next I'm going to show you how you can add a button to your trainer section, so they'll come directly to this page and they can book trainer. So I'm going to click pages and go to home. Then I'm going to go to the training section and then click on it. And right here it says footer buttons, so I'm going to check that. And then I'll click this add button. And then it has learn more. So I'm just gonna add 2 of them. So I'm just gonna click here and go book a trainer today. And then click this link. And then select page. And then go to book online. Click done. So now when they click this button, it'll go to the trainer page. So I'm going to close this and then go to preview and go to the trainer section. And then at the bottom, it'll have this book a trainer. So if I click that, it'll take you to this page where they can book a trainer. So another thing I want to show you is how to add a page. For example, say you want to add a blog. A blog's a great way to market your gym. So up here, click add and then go to page. And then, so there's all these different types of page you can add. I'm going to select blog. And then they have different designs. I'm just going to go with the first one. And then you'll get this blog with some example posts. So if you want to modify your blog, what you do is click on manage apps and then blog. And that'll open this. And then here you can enter in, the author name. And then you could, if you want to create a post, click this create new post, enter a title, enter description, and then here you could edit a post, or you can delete one, move to trash. So that's how you manage your blog. Next, I want to show you how you can make changes to your site in mobile. So click on page and then home. And then click up here, if you hover over this little desktop, click mobile. And then this will load your site in mobile. Here you can make modifications to your mobile site that won't affect your desktop site. For example, you could change this section to be different on mobile than on desktop. You can change the image. For example, maybe this image, you don't want to show it, or this text you don't want to show. So I'll just hide these for example purposes. So yeah, it won't show on your mobile site. So now if I go back to desktop, it shows on desktop, but if I go back to mobile, it doesn't show. So I'm not saying that's something you want to do, but just an example of how you can make your mobile site different than your desktop site. So next I want to show you how you can modify your header menu. So if we look at our header, you'll see it only has these ones. In the demo, I have a menu item for each section, so which is kind of nice because if you click classes, it scrolls right to that section. So with Wix, whenever you add a page, it will remove the menu items. So if you want to add those back, you would click the menu and then go site menu, manage items. And then here you click add a menu item and then select page, leave home page, and then here you would select facilities and then done. And then you add the name of that menu item, and then click again, add new menu item, page, then select our classes, done, and then classes. Then add a menu item, page, team members, say team, add a menu item, rates, membership, and add a menu item, page, contact. So now there's a menu item for each of your sections. I'm going to move this, and if you, on the left side, click and hold, you can move this stuff to the end. So next, I want to show you how to add this schedule, this events calendar, which I've noticed a lot of gyms have, especially since the gyms have so many different classes. This is probably one of the best ways to show all the different classes. So if I go back to the ADI editor, to do this, you have to, one downside is the only way you can do it, you can't do this in the ADI editor. You have to switch to the Wix editor. So if you click Add Apps, and then scroll to the bottom, you'll see this Go to Wix Editor. So click Go to Wix Editor, and then click Switch to Wix Editor. So once that loads, you'll get this little demo that you can walk through, and it gives you a little tutorial on the editor. So one thing to note about this editor is once any change you make in this editor, if you go back to the ADI editor, which you can go back, you're going to lose any changes you make. So that's one of the downsides. So this editor is quite a bit more complicated than the ADI editor, but it's very powerful. So like this text, you can just click and drag wherever you want. So you can't do that with the ADI editor. You can only choose where they select it or what their templates say. So that's one thing that's really cool. You can also, click on stuff, change strip. You could change this background. You can also move these sections around. You can click and drag. But it's a little trickier to get everything looking nicely compared to the ADI editor where everything is, fixed. You can't really change everything. So it's just simpler. The ADI editor is simpler. But one downside of the ADI editor is it's restrictive and you can't use all the apps. For example, Wix Editor has these apps. So if go over here and click Add Apps, it has all these. They have a marketplace for apps where developers create different apps. For example, in our case, we want a calendar. So if I search for calendar, you'll see there's all these different calendars. There's ones that are free and there's ones that are free/premium. For example, this one, events calendar, it's free. I think free for up to 7, or free for up to 5 events. But it costs $3.99 a month if you want unlimited events. And you only do one calendar, which is probably fine. You probably only have one calendar, but you can't do everything. So I'm assuming maybe you only have 5 events, but I'm assuming you probably have more than that. There's also this other one that I think allows you to do 7. But I'm assuming you have more than 7. So I'm going to show you how to use the Google Event Calendar by Wix, which is free. So let me close out of here. And let me look at the demo where I added that. That was below the classes. So below the classes, I'm gonna add it in here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a strip. So go over this, click Add, and then go to Strip, and then just click Classic, and then we're just gonna add this white strip. So just click and drag, put it right here below the classes section. And that'll add a strip. So we're going to need to make this bigger. So click this here and just drag it down. We're going to need more space. So next, go to Add Apps. And then we're going to want to select Google Events Calendar. Click Add. And then it's going to warn you about any change you make to this editor, you're going to lose if you go back to the Wix ADI. So now this is the calendar. Next, you're gonna do is you need to hook this up to your Google calendar. So click Settings. I'm just gonna close this. Click Settings. Then click Connect Account. And then here it's gonna ask you to log into your Google account. Then it's going to ask you to give permission to Wix to do these certain things, so click allow. Then after you do that, click this manage calendars, and then in here you can select the calendar from your Google Calendar. So I created this one called Fitness Gym. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to go to layout, and I'm going to select weekly, and then you can change which day of the week it starts on. If you want to include all days, and then from when the calendar should start and when it should end. And then if you click settings, oh sorry, we were just at settings, so then go to design, and here you can change the colors. So I'm going to change event. I'm going to change this to different color. Oh, excuse me, that's the wrong one. I'm gonna change event box. That's what I want. That one, that's these ones. So I'm gonna change that. I'll make it a little darker, and then I'm gonna change the current day to a lighter color like that, and then that kind of matches the colors for my theme. Oh, also I want to change. You can change the font size. The font's pretty large. I'm going to change that, and then change this as well. Try to get all the text in there. And then I'm going to close it. And then my calendar has some stuff below. So I'm going to drag this down more. Give some more space, and then I'm going to drag these out, make it wider. And then make it longer. So this, as you can see, there's a lot of dragging and positioning things using the Wix editor versus the AD editor. You don't have to drag and do all this stuff. So that's one thing I really like about the AD editor. But if you want this events calendar, you have to use the Wix editor. So next we need a title. So I'm just gonna click on this, and I'm gonna just want to click on the text, and then I'm just gonna paste it in here, and then I'm just going to double click on the text and change it to schedule. And then if you want to change the color, click on here, and actually I think I need to highlight it first, and then click on the color, and then change that reddish color. And then I think I need a little more space here. So that's another thing with this editor, you have to be a little more aware of design, whereas with AD Editor, it does it all for you. So there we go, we got the calendar. Now I'm going to go to preview, and we can see we have our events calendar now. One of the last things I want to show you is how to publish. So right now, it's not published, it's not live, people can't access your site. So number right, you have to click publish. And then that's it. Click view site. And then now your site is live to the world. And everywhere in the world can see your site. So that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. And if you liked it, please like it as well. If you have any questions, please post in the comments. If there's anything that wasn't clear, or if you want me to go over something more in depth, please post, and I'd be happy to make another video. That's it. Thank you.